You'll be alright, 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 okay, 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 I'll be okay, alright, 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 right, okay, okay,
All right, great people. How are we doing on this great day? I am so excited that you have decided to join us on this great day. Man, I am just filled with excitement right now and what's about to transpire here on this great day. And I'm just telling you, we are about to have a great time here just talking about leadership. Talking about leadership. As you see in the intro video, you saw all the powerful speakers that's going to be coming before you here today that's going to inspire you. So right now, make sure you hit the like, love, care button right now on Facebook. Make sure that you hit the share button right now on Facebook, because somebody needs to hear what's about to transpire here on today. Someone needs to be empowered from one of these powerful speakers that's going to be speaking life into you on today. And we have 5 powerful speakers that's going to be coming to you and speaking life into you from the point of leadership in their own idea of leadership from wherever they are coming from in the world. And these are different people from different areas within the United States that's going to be coming forth from different states, different cities, different communities, different backgrounds that's going to be talking about this thing we call leadership. So as we get started here today, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the love button, make sure you hit the care button, make sure you hit the share button right now, right now, right now, right now, and invite everyone you know to be a part of this conversation on the topic leadership, leadership. So as we get started, thank you all for joining so far, and thank you all that's going to be staying for the whole duration of the time that we are here together. So share in the comments. I'm going to be looking at the comments and sharing that excitement and the good nuggets that's going to be shared here today from the different speakers. And so let's go ahead and get started with our virtual leadership summit. So the first thing we got here is we're going to have someone special coming forth for you, and his name is John Ughulu. John Ughulu, man, I know this guy from the Power Voice system, and that's where we was able to connect and network and start our relationship from there. John Ughulu is a man of God. He's a powerful speaker, someone that I admire so dear because of the great work ethic that he has and what he's doing within the world as we speak here today. So as he comes forward, I just want to share a little bit of information about him, not in the whole detail. I'm going to be posting it in the comment section so that you can be able to read the whole intro, but I want him to have enough time to be able to speak life into you so that he can be able to do what God has him to do. But he is an husband and father, and he is a strategist and a motivator speaker. John helped individuals and organizations to achieve their strategic goals. John is someone that has founded a program, a foundation called John Ughulu Foundation Incorporated. And this is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that is providing empowerment for children and young adults between the ages of 8 and 22 through coaching and mentoring. John recently became the co-founder of Cornerstone Christian University. Yes, that's right. That's right. I co-founder, right? And he will provide, and what it does is provide quality and affordable education for future leaders. So we're going to go ahead and bring forth the powerful speaker that's about to be speaking to you, and let him go ahead and have the stage as we speak. So real quick, John, I just want to say thank you so much, my friend, for being here. Go ahead and say greetings to all the awesome viewers that are watching us here today.
Oh, thank you so much, Coach Teon. This is a pleasure and a privilege for me to have been given the opportunity to speak to your audience. You know, things like these are what would help a lot of people transition from where they are currently to where they want to be. And I really do commend your efforts. So hello, everybody. My name is John Ughulu. I am a strategist, just like he has introduced. I am a strategist and a motivational speaker. So what I do is I work with individuals and organizations to help them transition from where they are to where they want to be. So thank you once again, Coach Teon. It's a pleasure. So today I want to talk about taking charge. Taking charge. So if you're listening, I want you to please grab a pen and a notepad, a piece of paper, and take down as much information as you can, because today is the first day of the rest of your life. When we talk about taking charge, a lot of people read different meanings to taking charge. But that's the first step of leadership. Taking charge means stepping into leadership roles. It could be leadership in your own life, because I've had people tell me that they do not work for organizations. They have not yet attained leadership positions at their jobs or in their business. But I always want to tell people that as a leader, it starts from within. You are a leader in your own life. Leadership is about enabling those you are leading to arrive at the intended destination. So if you are leading your life from where you are to where you want to be, you are leading your destiny. You are taking the role of leadership. You are taking the mantle of leadership. And now the work of leadership focuses people on being able to achieve results, to achieve their goals. And as a leader, no matter what technical experience you have, you are now stepping backwards, stepping away from being that technical expert to that person who helps other people unleash the potentials within them. You are now taking that position of helping people identify what their calling is. You are helping people develop themselves. You are helping people gain confidence in themselves. You are fostering mutual learning as a leader. You are engaging people interpersonally, making them feel comfortable with themselves and with their community. Now, there are tools you typically would have to use to become a successful leader. Whether you are an emerging leader or a seasoned leader, you should be able to provide the first thing, direction. Providing direction. That is paramount, because right now you are stepping away from that technical guru or that person who knows everything to someone who is helping people build themselves to unleash their potentials. So you provide people with an engaging vision, provide direction that would make them understand the seriousness of what they have gotten into. It could be in their dreams. It could be in their vision, their goals, providing a clear direction for them. Then you should also understand the importance of relationship. Relationship is paramount. I have worked in the past with large corporations whereby they are the managers, those in management are only focused or concerned about meeting up with various metrics, forgetting that the people who are actually doing this job are humans, forgetting that those people at some point could have personal problems that could alter their mindset. Those people could be in situations whereby their mindset would not permit them to act with the best of their ability. That's where relationship comes in. And a lot of organizations do lack this part. They don't understand the importance of building relationships. They don't understand the importance of getting to know their employees or those they are leading, or they don't remember to understand that you need to know these people. Networking is paramount. It's also part of relationships. You should be one who knows how to build relationships. Then you should be able to create a design for whatever task that you are working on. Design. You should be able to create a system, create tools that would help people achieve their success, providing them with tools that would help them succeed. Leadership has to do with the way you were able to serve, because a good leader is a good servant. If you are someone who has never served, leadership will be a thing that you would struggle with. I want you to understand today that we all need to take charge of our destiny. We need to take charge of our lives. Take charge of your relationships. Take charge of your business, your career. It is paramount. It is you alone that can make things work for you, but you need to be in the right mindset. Vince Lombardi said, perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can surely catch excellence. Leadership is not about being perfect, because if you are looking for perfection, I am telling you, that's a goose chase. Perfection is not attainable. All you need is to be a person of value. You need to take charge of your destiny. It is you alone that can make things happen for you. We are going through perilous times right now where the level of depression has increased. The level of anxiety has increased. The level of domestic violence has increased. The level of hunger has increased. You should ask yourself right now, what am I doing to make an impact? Albert Einstein said, in the middle of every difficulty lies an opportunity. This is an opportunity for leaders to step up. This is an opportunity for servant leaders to use whatever they have right now to help people move from where they are to where they want to be. My mentor, my communication mentor, Mr. Les Brown said, we are now in an attention-driven economy. The world has gradually transitioned from brick and mortar to click and order. So this is the time that servant leaders shouldn't have an excuse. You should always be out there right now, speaking, motivating, inspiring people. You should take charge of the situation. First of all, start with your surrounding. Start with the people around you. Make them understand that where they are is only a phase in life. That's why Heraclitus said the only constant in life is change. This is the time we should reassure people that whatever they're going through is a phase in life. That's what leadership is all about. Leadership is all about helping people unleash the potentials in them, helping them gain the confidence that they truly need to make things become better. Malcolm X said, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So this is the time for servant leaders to step up and take charge, because the world is actually relying on us. The world is relying on leaders to make things become better. I don't know anything about you who's listening to me right now. Neither have I met you before. But one thing that I know for sure about you is that you've got greatness within you. You are an abode of greatness. You have everything within you to step into your greatness. You have everything within you to achieve what you want. All you need is the mindset of an achiever. All you need is the will to do it. 5 words, the will to do it. That's what you need, the will to make things happen. What do you need in your life to help you start your business? The will to do it. What do you need in your life to help you go from your challenges to a smooth place? The will to do it. What do you need to help you meet with the right people who can help you step up? The will to do it. Without wasting much of your time, I want to remind you that you've got all it takes. You are a full package. And remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Think about it.
Man, I'm telling you, that was so powerful. Thank you, Dr. John, my friend. Oh my God, that was amazing. That was amazing. I mean, I'm over here trying to take notes and keep up and and make sure sharing and make sure everyone is hearing what you had to say, because it was so powerful. And I'm going to share my biggest takeaway here before I begin to speak, so that everyone can make sure that they caught it. But there was so much great nuggets in that, and I hope that someone grabbed just one takeaway. What I'm going to ask you, everyone, that you would take one takeaway from each speaker that you can apply in your life immediately. That's what I'm going to ask that everybody do. John, my friend, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know that you got to go, my friend. Continue to shine your light and allow your greatness to do what God intends to do.
Thank you so much, Coach Teon. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Again, that was my brother, John Ughulu. Now we about to go forth to the next person, and I know that you are having a great time so far. So make sure you like, love, and care. Make sure you share. Because someone in this world needs to hear the story that's being shared. Someone needs to hear something about leadership that can help them to move forward in their leadership role, whatever that may be. So make sure you share this. Share this right now. I am so excited for the next speaker that's about to come forth. Why? Because we are accountability partners. So she already know who she is. She already know who she is. I mean, this is a powerful woman. This is a driven woman. This is a woman that truly want change in life, truly want to inspire. And she has her own lane, and that is working. I'm not going to tell you the secret. I know you was waiting for it, right? You was waiting for it. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but she is a very powerful speaker, and I know that she's going to impact you so much. So Arlene Korleh, she is a devoted mother who is also, yes, a certified speaker, teacher, and coach of the same organization that I'm part of, the John Maxwell team, which is 38,000 members strong. And that's how we was able to connect and network together. And we became accountability partners through the John Maxwell team. And she has been taking the curriculums within John Maxwell to continue to build herself, to build her community, to build her network in order to increase her net worth. She is the founder of the Path podcast, turning obstacles into opportunities. So if you haven't went on the podcast online and look it up. Make sure you look up The Path podcast, and subscribe right now. She's going to be talking to some bold sisters. Yes. Some bold sisters. It is what? It is Women's Month, right? Women History Month, right? So hit her up right now. Subscribe to her podcast as she comes forth and do great interviews with bold sisters that are doing great stuff, great things within this world. So you already know a little bit about her. You already know a little bit about the Path podcast. And I'm going to share her full bio in the comments so that you can be able to read it as she's inspired you here today. So go ahead, Arlene, please go ahead and turn on your video, and let's bring you forth so that you can inspire the people that are listening here on today. So I'm about to go ahead and you should see something come on across your screen to accept and open up, and I'm going to put you on spotlight so the world can see you, my sister.
Hello.
Oh my God. Go ahead and greet everyone in your own way, and the floor is yours, my sister.
Thank you, Teon. I tell you, I am honored to be here today. I am honored because you stole some of what I was going to say in my speech, because I wanted to let everyone know. I'm honored. First, let me say thank you for having me here. I'm honored to be here with your other distinguished speakers. I'm coming behind a strong, powerful speaker, so it got me pumped. I'm ready to take on. I took some of his nuggets. The world is waiting on and relying on some leaders. So let me go to the next level. I want to let everybody know, like Teon said, we met in John Maxwell. We're accountability partners. We connected so well. We have another partner, and we continued even after the sessions ended. We still continue meeting once a month, and it's a pleasure sitting with these powerful men that I'm working with. And I must admit, when I would work with Teon, when he would go through his list of work, he would go and list. He would not. It's like it's nonstop. He's going point number 10, point number 11, and I'll look back at my list, and I'm sitting here like, am I just lazy? What is it? Does this guy do all of this in 24 hours? And I sit here and I'm like, I marvel over all he's doing, but it just shows how focused he is and how much he's doing. And I tell you, I'm lucky to be a partner with him and the other partner. And I can't thank him enough for pouring into me always like he does. And I think, Teon, I covered everything on my list, so you can send my check. I'll give you the check and my Cash App later so you can send me the money. I think I covered everything you told me. But today, everybody, I want to talk to you about leaders who dare to be courageous. Leaders who dare to be courageous. Let me tell you, I've been in corporate America now for at least 30 years. I know you're looking at me like, oh my God, no, she can't be in corporate America 30 years. You look like you're only 36. Yeah, I get that all the time. But honestly, I've been in corporate America for a little over 30 years. And in my experience in being in corporate America, I've come across every type of manager I think that's out there. From the managers who sit in their office all day with the doors closed, and then you go to the right, and then you have that manager who's hovering over you. But then you have those in-between managers. Those in-between managers who I think are those managers that have the potential to be courageous. But you know what? They sit there and they can learn and they can grow and they can be that next 21st century leader. I started looking up the definition of courage just to make sure I understood what it meant. And courage is the mental and moral strength to venture and persevere and withstand danger, fear, or difficulties. And then I also looked up leaders. On Google, it says a leader is someone who leads or commands a group or an organization or country. And then I found another definition that I think should be added to that definition. It was written by Brene Brown. I think you all may know her. She's the famous author, lecturer, professor, and podcast host. And she wrote that a leader is someone who takes responsibility for finding the potential in people and processes. And then they have the responsibility to develop that potential. I think that's a wonderful way of defining what a true leader would be. Adding that to one who leads and commands is a perfect leader. She did a study with a bunch of senior leaders. And in the study, she asked, what if anything about the way people are leading today that needs to change in order to be successful in today's environment with a rapidly changing innovation. And overwhelmingly, all these senior leaders said they needed brave leaders. Now, she could have asked me that with my 30 years. Remember, I've been in corporate America for 30 years. So she could have asked me that. I could have saved her a lot of traveling time or time spent going to all of these different people. But when she asked them, why did she feel like they needed brave leaders? The answers were across the board. She could not get one particular answer. Now, being in corporate America all this time, I worked in a Fortune 500 company for years, for many years. And when I tell you, this is a Fortune 500 company who has been doing amazing things in their community. But if I tell you, if you sat in that office and saw how antiquated their systems were, it would have marveled you that this company did so well. But I think it's because it was taken that they needed to take the time to build their innovation, to build their programs to meet where the environment and innovation was going. I read another study by a leadership expert. Her name is Rosalind Torres. And in Rosalind's study, she left her company to do a study with 4,000 companies worldwide. She left her job. She thought that was so important. And in her study in these 4,000 companies, she went to ask these leaders to study the effectiveness of their leadership development programs. And in her study, she found that 58% of these companies cited significant gaps in critical leadership roles. I think I worked in one or two, or maybe three of those companies as well. Remember, 30 years been in corporate America. I think I've been in one or two of those companies myself. But she said, what does that mean? She said, despite all the corporate training, despite all the off-site assessments, all the coaching, that even over half of these companies fail to grow enough leaders. Now that is significant. So that means coaches, there's a lot of work out there still for us to do, and a lot of follow-up we must do as well. So if you ask yourself, is your company helping you to grow or preparing you to grow to be the next great 21st century leader? Odds are probably not. But the one thing she ended her study answering this question, Rosalind Torres did. She said, what makes a great leader in the 21st century? There are women and men who are preparing themselves for the comfortable predictability of yesterday, but also the realities of today and all those unknown possibilities of tomorrow. Now, when I heard the unknown possibilities of tomorrow, the first thing my mind went to was COVID-19 that happened in 2020. A lot of these companies were blindsided by what happened. They were not prepared, some of them, I'm sure. A lot were, we know, but a lot were not prepared, excuse me. And in not being prepared, I'm sure if the funds were there, a lot of them wish they had that online presence. That took a brave or a courageous leader to put that into play way before these unknown possibilities. That's what it takes to be a courageous leader. I know a lot of companies also had to look back at their processes, and they had to look at their staff, because to me, they were not preparing. They were just moving just in the comfortable, with the part that says comfortable predictability of today. But when we look at courageous leaders, they're not just sitting in their offices. They're on the floor with their teams, shaping their teams and their company. I heard John Maxwell say, leadership should be like a dance where you're walking ahead as an example, walking beside your team as a friend, and walking behind your team as the leader that empowers them. Now that's powerful. That's the leadership dance, he called it. I think that's a powerful way of looking at it. So what does it take to be a courageous leader? Communication. We know communication is key in your homes, in your life, just walking in the store. Communication is key, and having open communication is critical to you and your team. Making your team feel appreciated. When a team feel like they're appreciated by their leaders, they'll trust you more. And when they trust you more, I've heard that people follow leaders. They don't follow the vision. All the vision and the statements written plastered on walls in offices and the SOPs, people don't follow that. They follow a person. Another thing, another way of being a great leader, complete a year end of year review. Go over what worked, what was good, what wasn't good, what needs tweaking, what needs to change immediately, and what you can push off maybe 1 to 2 years from now. Another courageous leader will always grow himself and his team. He's not looking to grow just himself. If you grow great leaders, you will also have a great team and you will have a team of leaders. Another way of being a courageous leader is a courageous leader makes hard decisions and they move forward. They're not afraid. And one of the last ones I want to talk about is um, review the process, review your goals, review consistently with your team. Once you review consistently with your team, you will always be ahead of the game. Never fall back on reviewing constantly with your team where you need to change things moving forward in your walk or in your company. It says courage is the quality that distinguishes great leaders from excellent managers. Again, courage is the quality that distinguishes great leaders from excellent managers. I would end asking, are you operating today as a brave and a courageous leader? Are you operating today as a brave and courageous leader? It's never too late. We are all growing. We are all preparing ourselves, and gaining some of these traits will prepare you to be the next 21st century great leader. The world is waiting on you. We need more great leaders out there. We need more caring leaders. Another thing I want to say, we need leaders who are not cloning themselves. We need leaders who are not looking for someone that make them feel comfortable. We need diversity in these companies. We're looking for leaders who are bold enough to go against the grain. Are you a bold leader? Are you a courageous leader? I think you are. Come on and join this team right here of courageous leaders for the next 21st century. Thank you, Teon.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Arlene, my dear, you were so amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I share all her information in the comments so you can read her bio. I also share that you can be able to follow her podcast. I share the link in the comments. Please, please, please make sure you go and subscribe right now. I also here soon is going to put in the comments John Ughulu's actual website as well, so you could be able to visit him and also connect with him as well. So as soon as I copy that link, I'm gonna post that in there, and then I'm also gonna show you some tags that you'll be able to connect with Arlene in the future. So thank you again, Arlene, for coming forth and sharing us that history and that information so that we could be courageous leader. And I'm so excited because you already segued right into what I'm going to share here on the scene. I am so excited. Thank you so much for that. All right. All right. Our next speaker that's about to be coming forth here soon. It's going to be another powerful speaker. And I'm telling you, you are going to enjoy him as well. So as we get everything straight in the background so that we can be able to make sure this next speaker speak life into you here shortly. If you haven't yet, make sure you go ahead and like, love, care, and share. Make sure you do that right now. Hey, I'm doing it. Why can't you? I'm doing it and I'm talking and I'm looking in the camera while I'm doing it. Bam. How you like that, Mapples? Make sure you do it. Like, love, care, and share. Now everybody go ahead and introduce our next dynamic speaker. And his name is Dr. John Gray, AKA the Professor of Positivity. He is a professor of organizational leadership at Stockton University in New Jersey. He is also the co-founder of Empowerment Matters LLC and served as a motivational speaker, coach, and leadership consultant. He is the author of Quitting Was Not an Option and the host of the Power of Positivity broadcast show. And I just had the opportunity and looking forward, and we had a great time. And I know that you will too. If you go and listen to the Power of Positivity broadcast, you will be inspired. He does a lot of live feeds Catch him. He is a very dynamic, powerful speaker that will speak life into your soul. He is another Power Voice member, just like me, just like myself. And that's the way how we was able to connect through the Power Voice system of Les Brown. So I am just so excited to be able to introduce you to Reverend Dr. John Gray, who served as the senior pastor of the Goodwill Tabernacle Baptist Church located in the heart of West Philadelphia. My brother, come on forth. I'm going to spotlight you. Brother, I am so excited that you are here to join me on this first ever virtual leadership summit.
Hey, my friend, how are you?
I am outstanding, my friend. Thank you so much for being here.
Listen, it's my pleasure, and I was looking forward to this. And talking about leadership is my passion area, and I know that is definitely your passion area, where your enthusiasm is just on full display. So thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and do your thing. Let God have his way.
Amen. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for having me here, Coach. I appreciate it. I appreciate all you do in the area of leadership, and I appreciate your enthusiasm. And I just want to let you know that you got a couple of preachers on here. I know I'm from the Baptist persuasion by way of AME, and there's some other preachers on here. So you know how we do. We got to time ourselves to make sure that we act accordingly. So I just want to make sure that I'm respectful of the time that you've given me. I just stopped by for 10 minutes just to talk about leadership from this perspective. I want to talk about leading with passion and purpose. Leading with passion and purpose. And for those of you who may be on here watching and saying, well, I'm not a leader in my organization. I'm not a leader in my church. Yes, you are, because you're a leader of your life. You are leading your life. So therefore, you are a leader in every sense of the word. You are a leader. But before I get into this conversation about leading with passion and purpose, I want to share with you a little history, because there's a quote that I often refer to. Alexander the Great: fortune favors the bold. Once again, Alexander the Great: fortune favors the bold. And what I want to talk about is how that quote came into being. You see, by the time Alexander the Great was 33 years old, he had pretty much conquered the known world at that time, by 33 years old. But what made him a great leader was that he led with passion, purpose, and vision. He was always able to see that there was more on the horizon. As they would go through a place and they would conquer another territory, or they would move to another territory, Alexander kept telling his men, I see more. And they kept saying, Alexander, isn't this enough? I mean, we don't see any more. But him being the leader that he was, he kept telling them, I see more. And the reason they followed him always to almost to the ends of the earth is because of his passion, his enthusiasm, his charisma, his vision, and his energy. I'm here to tell you that when you lead with passion, folks will follow you because they'll be connected and they'll resonate to your passion. Nobody wants to follow a leader who's not sure of where they're going themselves. Or now, let me ask you in this way. When you follow a leader who says, listen, I clearly see where we're headed, and I know with every being, all the feeling in my bones, that this is the way we should go? Or will you follow a leader who said, well, I think we should perhaps go that way? No, you're going to follow a leader. Even if the results aren't what you thought they would be or could be or should be, you're still going to follow that leader who is full of passion, vigor, and energy. And without a shadow of a doubt, they are certain in their spirit that this is the way we should go. That leader is going to grab you by the hand and say, let me show you the way to go. Like my Jackson 5 reference I put in there. Anyway, what I'm saying is we must lead with passion, because the passion is the energy and the fuel that gets you to the destination, which is the purpose. So Alexander the Great, he kept telling them, I see more, I see more, I see more. You know, great leaders, they take you to a place that is better than where you are. They take you from your pain point to your purpose point. We all have pain points. We all have points where we're stuck and we can't move and we're in quicksand, that proverbial creative quicksand. But the great leader says, let me show you a better place. If we just keep going, if we just keep striving, if we just keep moving, I'm going to take you to a better place. Yes, I'll take you there. That's what the leader of passion says. I'll take you from your pain point to your purpose point. Now, as Coach Teon said, I do teach organizational leadership in a doctoral program at Stockton University. And yes, in that program, we dive into theory. We dive into contingency theory, power theory, complexity leadership theory, great man theory, relationship theory, participative leadership theory. But at the end of the day, all of those theories sound great on paper, but if you don't have the passion to influence leadership, because as John Maxwell says, leadership is influence and nothing more. You want to get to a point where, yes, people will trust and believe in your competence, but they must follow your confidence. If you are competent, but not confidence, then you cannot take them from A to Z. Folk must understand that you, without a shadow of a doubt, you know that this is the way that we should go. And what you're saying is, come along with me. Let's go on this ride, and I'm going to take you on this journey. So when we look at leadership, we look at the traits of leadership. I want to share with you this. Charisma is the most recognized leadership trait. Out of all the leadership traits, the one that has the most magnetic appeal is charisma. Before people get to your character, which is important, before they get to your integrity, which is important, before they get to all of the other attributes of leadership, they are attracted to the leadership trait of charisma. Charisma is that magnetic appeal that tells people this is somebody I should follow. Leading with passion is one thing. Then we got to lead with purpose. Purpose means we have a destination. We have a specific place that I am taking you. One of the most frustrating things in leadership, or I would say followership, is when people are following a leader and the leader doesn't seem like they know where they're going. If you look biblically, Moses was following God's leading, but the people weren't aware of where they should be going. So they just thought they were just going around in circles in the wilderness, lost. And a lot of it was due to their own self-inflicted issues as well. But people, if they perceive that they don't know where they're going, some of them are inclined to go back where they came from, even if where they came from is not fruitful to their existence in their life. For example, when they said, I'd rather go back to Egypt. I want you to know there are some organizational Egypts out there, and people would rather go back to an organizational Egypt than to follow someone where they're not sure where they're going. When you lead with passion and when you lead with purpose, you're painting the picture in people's psyche. You're painting the picture in people's minds. You're painting the picture in people's hearts and spirit that this is where we are going. Now that is the mantle and the responsibility and the awesomeness of leadership. It is, and I want to just share this before I close. Let me check my clock because, like I told you, I'm 6. There you go, minute and a half. Leadership is not for the faint of heart. You are responsible for the trajectory of people's careers, their lives, their goals, their ambitions. Let me tell you how awesome leadership is. When people put their faith in you as a leader, they're putting their cares, their ambitions, their desires, and their hopes in your care. And they want to know, are you going to lead me with confidence? Are you going to lead me with passion? Are you going to lead me with purpose? Are you going to take me there? And I say this to leaders, don't take the mantle of leadership lightly. It is an awesome responsibility, It is a mighty task, but to whom much is given, much is required. If you've been gifted with leadership, then it is your responsibility to lead as such. If you've been called to leadership, it is your mandated duty to lead as such. If you have been given the responsibility and you have been endowed with the gifts and the talents and the grace to lead, then it is your destiny to lead. But lead with passion and lead with purpose. And I assure you, the world needs more leaders who's going to lead from a place of passion and lead from a place of purpose. And I'll leave you with this statement. My tagline: your passion is your permission to pursue your purpose. I'm going to say it one more time for the folk in the back who may not have heard me. Your passion is your permission to pursue your purpose. This has been Dr. John Gray, your Professor of Positivity, and it's been my pleasure to be on Coach Teon Singletary's Leadership Summit. God bless you, keep the faith, and lead with passion and lead with purpose. Take care, family.
Oh man, I always love hearing you speak, my friend, especially when you share your tagline. Come on, can you share with us one more time?
Your passion is your permission to pursue your purpose.
Oh my God. Anytime I hear it, it excites me. I don't know why. It just does, man. I appreciate you, Dr. John Gray, for
my timer, right? There you go. See?
Right on time. Look at that. I love it, man. See, this is an on-time man right here. You know what they say? An on-time God. This is an on-time.
Yes. you know how AME and Baptist preachers are. You know how we are.
We just getting started because guess what? There's 2 more AME pastors coming forth.
See, I told you. Come on. Bless you, man.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope you have received some good nuggets here from my brother here that is designed to empower you, to inspire you, to uplift you with passion. Did the passion came through the camera? I know it did. I think it did with me. It did with me. So I'm excited that we have already have 3 powerful speakers, but hold on there. We got 3 more coming. We have 2 more that will be coming, and then I will be coming with finishing off, coming at the end tail to bring us home. So let's go ahead and introduce our next powerful speaker that's going to be coming forth for you. And this is another woman of God, and she's actually my pastor of Great President AME Church. And I just love her and adore her so much. Reverend Sheri McLean Brown. Pastor Brown is, again, the pastor of Great President AME. There's no place like the president. She is a great leader, a true servant of God, is what I have been able to pull from the time that we have shared together in a couple of months. Yes, literally just a couple of months. And she loves to serve the church and the community. She is a change agent and not afraid to burn the midnight oil and get. And I'm telling you, when she speaks into your life today, she is going to empower you. She's going to impact your life. Make sure you have pen and paper ready. I hope you already did with the other 3 speakers because they were throwing those nuggets. Those nuggets, they eat them up, right? Now, keep that pen and paper in front of you because we're about to have Pastor Sheri McLean Brown come forth and speak life into you here today. How are you doing, Pastor?
Doing well. How are you, Brother Teon?
I am having too much fun, as you see.
I see.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
rightfully so.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Greetings again to you, Brother Teon, for hosting this leadership summit and for giving us a platform to discuss leadership and to make available to some and present to others the many facets of leadership. Greetings to my accompanied speakers, Reverend Dr. John Gray, Arlene, Korleh, Reverend Ronald McInnis, Reverend John Ughulu, And of course, yours truly, myself, and to Brother Teon. It's my pleasure, let me say that, to share with you, our listeners on today, a discussion about leadership. Now, you have already heard from some of the greatest already that's come before you. Mr. Ughulu said to you that you need to take charge. And then Korleh said to you, be a courageous leader. And we just heard from Dr. Gray, he said he encouraged you to lead with passion and purpose. So before I get into what I would like to really discuss, let me just share with you the evolution of leadership. Just to let you know that there's leadership is a very complicated system, and it involves a lot of individuality. So over the course of the century, we have found that the definition of leadership has changed or has been different at least 200 times. We've had 200 different definitions of leadership within the past century. It started out with emphasizing control and centralization of power. It was more, the common theme was more of domination. Then it migrated to traits, where it looked at influence rather than domination. Then it passed on down to leadership's being defined as the behavior of an individual while involved in a direct group activities. And then as time went forward in the 1950s, leadership became about relationship. So I'm just showing you here the transitions of where leadership has evolved and how it is still evolving. We're talking about how leadership, the effectiveness of leadership was defined by the ability to influence overall group effectiveness. Then as we go on within the century, I'm just going to bring it up to 1980s, where it talked about, or should I say, this is the decade, the decade that exploded with works on the nature of leadership. So there are countless numbers of definitions of leadership. How do we describe it? How do we define it? It got to a point where leadership became more of a prolific stew, if I may use that word. Do as the leader's wishes. Let's look at the influence to distinguish leadership from management. Let's look at the traits, the leadership as excellent movement that's brought back leader traits to the spotlight. Let's look at transformation. So we see all of these patterns of what a leadership or what leadership is. And now we're in the 21st century. And we're looking at how leadership has evolved to where we are today. The 21st century is the process of leadership and how it is emphasized. So we're no longer just looking at the traits, the behavior, the influence. We're looking at the actual process of leadership. An individual influences a group of individuals to achieve a common goal, rather than developing new ways of defining leadership. So how do we do this? How do we lead in the 21st century? Just as there are many definitions of leadership, there are several laws of leadership. Leadership is about relationship that makes a difference. And so how do you go about making that difference? So what does taking charge look like to you? It's specific. What does it look like to you? What does being a courageous leader look like to you? How do you lead with passion and purpose? What does that look like to you? So on today, if you will allow me just a few more minutes, I want to talk about one main thing, and that is, to thine own self be true. To thine own self be true. You have got to know who you are. When you know who you are, you know how you can influence others to not only achieve common goals, but you are able to influence them to do much greater things. One of the laws of leadership given by John Maxwell is the law of magnetism. I know you guys know about that, Dr. Gray, Ms. Korleh, and Teon. The law of magnetism. It says, who you are is who you attract. So it is important that you know who you are, know your capabilities, know your limitations. As a leader, this is important. What's your personality? Ask yourself, what is your personality? Are you dominant? Do you desire to influence? Are you self-confident? Do you have strong moral values? Now, this is something for you to start doing an evaluation of so that you can answer these questions that will help you determine your leadership style. Not only your personality, but what about your traits? Traits that are positively associated with leadership. Now, there are some major leadership traits like intelligence, self-confidence, determination, integrity, sociability. In other words, being able to build relationships, ability to influence. Do you have these traits within you? How do you know? To know yourself is how you're going to be able to benefit and know how to lead and to know what type of leadership, to know what your leadership style or your leader style is to know yourself. What are your behaviors? You're directive? Do you provide guidance and psychological structure, or are you supportive? Do you provide nurture? Are you participative? You provide involvement. Achieve, or are you achievement oriented? You provide challenges. These are things that's going to help you evolve into that leader that you can be, that leader that you are destined to be. To thine own self be true. What skills do you possess? General cognitive ability? Well, it will give you, if you have that skill, it gives you competencies with problem solving. It gives you the problem solving skills and the social judgment skills that's going to help you in that leadership role. What's your cognitive ability? What about your motivational skills? Your motivational skills that will help with the performance and the outcomes of others. Do you have those skills? Are you path goal oriented? Motivate followers to accomplish designated goals. These are questions that you have to answer within yourself so that you can determine or help you put you on the path to be able to take charge, for you to be able to become that courageous leader that you've already heard, for you to be able to lead with passion and purpose. You will know then what that looks like to you because you now have been true to yourself. You know exactly who you are, and you will know exactly who you will attract. Leadership style, and I'm almost done. I'll leave you with this thought though. If you do not know who you are, it's difficult to determine the process of how you will lead. Leadership styles are usually driven by who you are. Can you be taught how to become an effective leader? Of course you can, because leadership is a process. It's not something that's done in a day. It's a process. So once you know who you are able to move to the next step of defining your leadership style. It helps you to determine your ability to lead and your level of effectiveness. Different types of leaderships are out there. Which one are you? Are you a transformational leadership? Are you one that gives more attention to the charismatic and effective elements of leadership? Are you a servant leader? Leaders who are attentive to the concerns of their followers. They empathize with them. They nurture them. They put followers first. They empower them and help them develop their full personal capacities. Are you an authentic leader? How about an adaptive leader? Or you could be even a team leader. These are questions that we cannot answer for you, but these are things that you can look into once you know who you are. Once you know the behaviors, the traits, your personality, once you know these things, the skills that you possess, you are able now to come out and make a good choice on your leadership style. Be the best leader that you can be. Start out by knowing who you are so that you can take your character, you can take your skills, and you can begin to put it in that leadership position, that leadership role, whatever it may be, so that you can take charge. You can lead with encouragement. You can lead with passion. You can do these things once you really know who you are. Take it to the next level. Remember, leadership is constantly evolving. It's constantly changing, and it is a process. Know who you are to become the best leader that you can be. Thank you, Brother Teon.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you so much for sharing what you share with us. And
You're welcome.
And I know that someone took something out of this. She asked a lot of questions because she wanted to get deep down to the root of the mission and the issue. And I will say like this, the root of the two. She want to get down to the root of the matter. So I hope you receive a question that you can reflect on and ask yourself here on today. Thank you again, Pastor Brown, for coming forth.
You're welcome.
Sharing with us that insights and asking us those probing questions that we need to ask ourselves in order to take charge of our life. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So now everybody go ahead and move on to the next person. And I know you are so ready. I know you are hyped up now. And I know that you have listened and heard the great speakers that has been speaking into your life. And now we better have another one. We are not done yet. Not quite. We are not done yet. So now we better have another powerful speaker to come forth. And I know this guy. I know this young man of God, Reverend Ronald McInnis. He is the pastor of the Mount Olive AMB Church there in Georgetown, South Carolina. And little that he knows that he is my spiritual father. He has taught me so much spiritually. Me and him has had so many questions and answering sessions together. And I'm telling you, I have learned so much from him because he was very authentic. He was very real. And that's what inspired me to continue to probe at him and probe at him and ask him questions. And so what's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on that? And he had come with me real, authentic, and he'll also put in the biblical, spiritual way so that I could connect the dots spiritually. So I work with this young man at Helping Hands of Georgetown, where he is my supervisor. We are doing great things in the community with this nonprofit organization, and it's been a story of how we connect. And I kind of feeling like sharing this story just a little bit, because I was on my purpose with passion. And I was sharing my purpose with everybody, and someone at an organization heard about me, and they shared with someone else, and then someone else shared with someone else. And little that I know, he was actually a referee at one of my recreational football games, and that's where we first connected. But when it was time for business, guess who came through the door? This young man, Reverend Ronald McInnis. And we immediately locked eyes. We was like, I know you. And I mean, the rest was history. The rest was history, and we began to build a relationship and be able to connect and see what we can do as a team to change this world. So he is a true man of God, and he loves serving God and people. And if he can help you, he will help you. If he had to give you the t-shirt off his back, he probably will, as crazy as he is. Because he loves serving and he caring for people. That's just the man that he is. So I have learned so much from him. And I know that you are going to learn a lot from him as well, especially in the speaking lane, and especially when it comes down to really knowing who you are and what you got to do in order to be a leader of good standard. So help me welcome Mr. Reverend Ronald McInnis. Go ahead and unmute yourself, sir. I'm gonna ask you to unmute and then it should come across the screen. There you go.
Did that work?
Yes, sir, you got it, you got it. Thank you so much for being here, Reverend.
I'm probably too nervous to realize that I was still muted. All those accolades that you poured on me, I started looking around to see if I had a clone.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
Yeah, so I'm not going to be before you long because it appears to me that you have some wonderful speakers and they've given us some wonderful insight on how to be leaders. And I want to thank you for being the visionary that you are by putting this summit together. I want everybody out there who's listening to know Teon is a really, really cool guy. And he's the type of person that puts things together. He makes things happen for all the right reasons. So I'm honored to be here. And so as I was trying to put something together and get the right words to say, I'm following all these doctors and these distinguished people. So I had to come up with some big words. I had to find some big words to say so I can be impressive on this call today so that people will know that I got a little language behind me too. So I came up with two big words and I want you to know that I'm elephant happy and hippopotamus glad to be here with you all today. Two big words, that's the best I can do. So I just want you to know that I'm going to talk for a few minutes about hero leaders. Again, I'm Ronald McInnis. I serve in several leadership roles. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather. As Teon mentioned, I'm an official. I'm one of the top rated officials for the South Carolina High School Basketball League. I just recently officiated a state championship game. I am the program coordinator for the Time to Change program at Helping Hands of Georgetown, where we build career paths for adults and youth. And as you can see, I'm the pastor of Mount Olive AME Church here in Georgetown. Finally, I am the Democratic candidate for an upcoming election here in the city of Georgetown for the vacant city council seat left vacant by one of my dear friends, Brother Rudolph Bradley, I'm sorry. So let me say this, let me be true to who I really am. I just heard that said, be true to who you really are. All of those things that I just spoke about, yes, those are leadership roles, but I just didn't land there. I often share with my coworkers that some people arrive in a Maserati, some arrive in a Volkswagen. Well, I'm the type that arrived in a Volkswagen. You see, I wasn't always in a pulpit. I wasn't always running for a candidacy for city council. I wasn't always a program coordinator. In fact, in 2004, I was released from a 13-year prison incarceration. From 1990 to 2004, I was incarcerated in the South Carolina Department of Corrections because of the wrong choices that I made. However, that is a part of my story. And I'm going to move on because it's about the story that we're going to build our heroic leaders, our hero leadership. And it's about creating stories. And you know, I heard it said one time that the best story is our personal story. So as leaders, we must be able to create our own story. But just as importantly as creating our own story, we must help our team. That's what I'll call our followers or our group or our employees. I'm going to use the word team. We need to learn how to help our team create their story. and that's hero leadership in a nutshell. But let me go a little further. Let me take a deeper dive. Let me begin with a story, and then I will explain what the hero leader actually does. And by the way, hero is spelled capital H, capital E, capital R, and capital O. So this is a story I want to share with you. And it's one I recently ran across on Facebook. And I thought it would be appropriate to share it in this forum as it pertains to hero leaders. And the opening line read, it said, when we are forced to make a split-second decision, our true colors, our leadership skills will be on display. So where do we find ourselves this afternoon? As you can see by my background, we find ourselves on a racetrack in Navarra, Spain. Ivan Fernandez is a runner from Spain competing in a long-distance race. Ivan competes in cross-country and in marathons. But this day, just as Ivan was in position to win the race, he noticed a fellow runner, Abel Mutai, a Kenyan athlete who had been in the lead, all of a sudden began to slow down, and as he approached the finish line, Abel did not speak Spanish, so he got confused by the signs and thought he had already won. Ivan saw what was happening. In an instant, he could have chosen to easily dart past his opponent to win the race himself. Instead, he slowed his pace and pointed Abel towards the real finish line so that Abel could win the race. H, hero leaders build hope in their team. This type of leadership must see far beyond the finish line or the bottom line. Like the Kenyan runner, many people now are confused and think that the race is over. But as leaders, as hero leaders, we must create an atmosphere of hope. We are enduring some of the most perilous times most of us have ever encountered in this lifetime. Wherever we find ourselves, whenever we take on leadership roles, it is imperative to paint a picture of hope, realizing that hope occurs not only in a difficult moment, but also as a thinking process to actively pursue our goals. Hope brings together will and way. As hero leaders create their stories, we must exemplify and build hope. That's our capital H. Let's build hope. So next is efficacy. Self-efficacy, if you will. A person's sense of I can. Every story must go from a I think I can to I can attitude. There was a point in my life where I was a I think I can type of person. And sometimes I was even I don't think I can type of person. But because of mentorship and because of heroes in my life that led me down the right path to creating a different story, I became a I can attitude type person. So we must give our team the room to trust their own ability, to organize and execute a course of action, to manage a failure, transition, or return to purposeful presence. Hello, Ronald. See, a hero leader will pour their vision into their people and then trust them enough to begin the intentional exploration to build on their own story. I hope I'm that type of leader. Now, that's our E, self-efficacy. Let's move to our R. Our R is resilience, and it is crucial to successful navigation of the stress and adversity brought about by change. It results in how you define, reframe, and construct meaning of events. There's a theory out there that says nothing grows without adversity, without friction. So when we are effective hero leaders, we learn to be resilient. You see, rigid or habitual self-defeating thinking limits the ability to bounce back and move ahead. Flexibility, objective thinking, and rational explanations of setbacks increases our resiliency and acceptance of change. Have you ever heard of a super ball? That's one of the most resilient things I've ever seen. You bounce it, the harder you bounce it, the higher it will go into the air. Resilience. A hero leader has to be resilient, has to be resilient. And so now, the last letter as I move along is our capital O. It's optimism. We must, as hero leaders, be optimistic. We must not see defeat. We must never see defeat. We can instill that into our team. If the leader is defeated, then the team is defeated. Optimism is the ability to seek solutions, and this is evident in every great story. I'm reminded of a game I was looking at the other night. The team was down by 13 points with just a few minutes left on the clock, and the coach called the timeout. And the commentators were saying that the game was over. However, that coach instilled in his team optimism that we have a chance. And that team did come back. They didn't win, but they did come back with the last shot and the ability or the capability of winning that game. You see, we see the upside of things gone wrong and reduce the gap between present and future, not personalizing or catastrophizing failure. We don't build that up. The mind stays open rather than adopting helplessness. And when performances are set back, believe that number one, good events have a permanent cause. Number two, causes of bad events are temporary. And number three, denying universal explanations for failure expands our opportunities. There it is, y'all. That's our hero leader. You will find that if we write our story with this concept in mind, we will be heroes in our story and make heroes out of our team. The Spanish runner, let's get back to him. Instead of grabbing the opportunity to win the goal, he caught up with Mutai and guided him into the first place. You see, Ivan preferred honesty to victory and became a world hero. He is our hero, chided a class of elementary students when they heard his story. And I am certain the story of his heroism did not start there. It may have been a coach, a teacher, a mentor, a father, a mother. Someone helped him create his heroic story. You see, the Karate Kid had Mr. Miyagi. Joshua had Moses. And of course, Moses had God. Bless you all. Thanks again, Teon, and I pray this has been a help to someone. God bless you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, sir, for the heroic leader that you are. I'm telling you. Thank you for the acronym. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you. Please, in the comments, you can be able to connect with all of the great speakers that have came before you. If you haven't yet, make sure you like, love, care, and share. Yeah. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Pastor, for so much for pouring life into us.
Yes. Thank you, and God bless you.
Yes, sir. Now we're about to shift. We are about to shift and move forward to the next step. And before I come before you, I want to share some things, and someone want to talk with you a little bit and share a little bit about me. So here we go. I want you to be inspired and let's grow together, because we are almost done with the first ever virtual leadership summit. If you haven't yet, make sure you share it with your family members and friends, because I'm going to be coming forth before you after the playing of these short videos. So enjoy.
Hello, my name is Paul Martinelli, and I'm president of the John Maxwell team. I want to introduce you to my friend, Teon. I have the privilege of leading an organization of more than 23,000 team members in more than 160 countries. And I've been a practitioner of self-development for years, so I know the importance of self-awareness. In fact, in his best-selling book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, my business partner, John Maxwell, wrote about the law of awareness. He says you must know yourself to grow yourself. That's true for personal growth, team growth, and business growth. I want to encourage you to consider working with our certified Maxwell Disc Consultant who sent you this video. Having some of the highest credentials in behavioral analysis, training and development as a certified coach, speaker, and trainer with the John Maxwell team ensures you'll be working with one of the best. They will bring to your organization our Maxwell DISC report, which provides awareness and communication styles, the value each individual can bring to your team, and their specific strengths to influence results. Then, the Maxwell DISC training program helps individuals to apply this new knowledge in ways that lead to increased effectiveness so they can bring their very best work forward. Thank you for watching this video. Be well.
Teon Singletary!
Show me where your greatness. Are you ready to be inspired? Are you ready to be empowered? Are you ready? Now your greatness. Now say to yourself, yes, I can.
Yes, I can!
Because you can. Because you can. Step 1, awareness. Step 2, preparation. Step 3, believe in yourself. Are you convicted to do it? Are you convicted to do it now and not later? And this is bringing us to step 4, which is trust the process. See, the process is going to stretch you, go to the next level, to go the extra mile. No one is stopping you. The only person that is stopping you is you.
Bring it on!
Take action now. Take action. I want you to be great in you and be great in the things that God has inspired you to be, do, and have.
Love you too!
All right, everyone. I am just so excited to be here with you. And I hope that you have been inspired so far with the great speakers that have spoken before me. And I'm telling you, we are about to have a great time here together as we prepare to double clutch and shift to the next level, as my good friend Bishop T.D. Jakes will say. I'd like to start off our time together with just a series of stories and reflection. And with the main story talking about two of my best friends. And the name of them are Gentle and Fluffy. And I'm going to let you know that I'm going to be coming from a different perspective of leadership here today as we journey together on these short stories and reflections. So, you know, the name that we're going to be talking about, the subject that we're going to be talking about is, and you probably already heard it already from the speakers that has went before me, be a bold and courageous leader. Be a bold and courageous leader. A little reflection about my life. And when I was younger, everyone thought that I was going to be the scientist of the family. Why? Because I was fascinated with insects and animals. And I mean, you could caught me at any given time outside in the hot burning sun. Yes, in the hot burning sun. You would think that I was an African kid. looking around, playing with every little thing that I can play with when it comes down to insects and animals. And I would just torture them sometimes. Like, I used to create my own little science and art of catching butterflies just by patiently waiting for them to land on the flower and then grabbing hold of them, right? With my bare hands. And I created my first flying kite with a piece of sewing thread and a dragonfly. Yes, I was that guy. I even had a pet earthworm that I thought was an earthworm, but it was an earthworm that built and grew into a king snake. Yes, a king snake. So, I mean, I had an earthworm and I thought it was an earthworm, but it was a king snake, a baby king snake, and I was feeding it potatoes. Yeah, potatoes. And my grandmother came outside one time and looked up and said, "Oh, there's a snake. Who put the snake in the cricket jar?" And I looked at her, I'm like, that's an earthworm. That's my pet earthworm. She said, no, that's a king snake, son. So yes, I grew an earthworm to a king snake. I was that scientist. So everyone thought that I was going to be a scientist of animals. Well, in my own right, I did become a scientist of computer science, of leadership development. I am a scientist of people behavior, as you see my good coach and mentor, Paul, share with you with the disassessments that I'm able to give people assessment and help them with their personality and who they are. I am a scientist of IT. Everyone that know me, that I am a computer guru, and if you got a problem, I will fix your problem with your computer. And I am a scientist of leadership. So I'm going to be sharing some stories with you here today to help you to understand leadership from a different perspective, to be bold and courageous. I'm part of multiple organizations where I hold a lot of leadership roles, and my laboratory is in books. My laboratory is in the mobile university as such. Those are my laboratory. And I know this wasn't the story that I was going to talk to you about my two favorite friends of Gentle and Fluff. But I want to give you just a little inside scoop. I just want to give you a little inside scoop of who I am, who Coach Teon Singletary is. Now, let's talk about the reflection of what you just experienced here today with the great and amazing speakers that went before me. I will share with you just one takeaway from each speaker. So yes, I was taking some notes, and I hope you was too, because they have really impacted my life with the time that they have shared on the same platform with me. So my power voice friend, Dr. Ughulu, don't seek perfection. Be a person of value. My John Maxwell teammate, Miss Arlene, get out of your comfort zone. Leaders who dare to be courageous. My other power voice friend, Pastor Dr. Gray. Follow people. People follow passion. People follow passion. Leading with passion and purpose. And everyone knows his favorite saying, right? Your passion is your permission to pursue your, everyone say, put it in the comments right now, purpose. Put it in the comments right now, purpose. Matter of fact, put it in the comments right now, passionate purpose. Now put in the comment, purpose with passion. There's so many ways on how we can fit that, right? Now, my pastor of Great President AME Church, Reverend Brown, to thy own self be true. And the main question that I want you to pull from her talk was, who are you? She asked you a lot of questions to really look internally. And the overall question is, who are you? What is your passion? What motivates you? What is your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Yes, who are you? And then, even though you don't know, my spiritual father, Pastor McInnis. Hope, self-efficiency, resiliency, optimism. That spells hero. Be a hero leader. Wow, 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 wow. Just so powerful. I mean, just so powerful. Now, let's move on to the story about the two great friends of mine that I want to share with you on today. One named Gentle and the other named Fluffy. the name by itself is kind of funny, right? I'm laughing because these friends are animals. They are animals. Gentle is a rock love, strong and bold. And however, she is very gentle and kind. If a fly flew around her head, she won't even try to bite it. She just let it fly around her head. She was kind to every creature she came across. Now, Fluffy, on the other hand, he was a rock star. And he did not like rules. Matter of fact, he despised rules. Fluffy just wanted to be free. And guess who Fluffy was? Fluffy was a hamster. Yes, Fluffy was a fluffy hamster. And he just wanted to be free and roam the house wherever he wants. What he really wanted was to always be in the kitchen eating all the snacks. But he was stuck in a cage. And this wheel-looking thing, why do we have to exercise is what he always asks, right? When he could be running around the house free. That's what Fluffy used to always contemplate about. Well, one day he got exactly what he wanted. His dreams came true. His cage was left open by accident, and all that training on the hamster wheel, it paid off because he bolted out that cage. He bolted down the dresser to the floor, and he headed straight to the doorway to make his sharp turn left to go into the kitchen. And as soon as he made that sharp turn left, he ran into something big. He ran into Gentle, the rock love. They both stood there looking at each other, animal eyeball to animal eyeball. And something miraculously happened. Gentle, the biggest one, who should be bold and courageous, began to lay down on the floor and roll over to her back. She was submitting to the poor little rock star hamster. Now, how come a powerful rock roller was submitting to a small, fluffy hamster? See, Gentle forgot how powerful she was. How many of us forgot how powerful we are? We allow fear in general to enter into our life and to control our power. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. What we must do is follow our parents and coach, my parent and coach, Deborah Tillman, the Superman. She says, we must face everything and rise. We must face everything and rise, my brothers and sisters. We are greatness made from greatness. We are made to be bold and courageous. So let's go. Let's go into the world and be great. Be the great creation that God has created us to be. Leadership requires us to be bold and courageous. If you are a father, mother, brother, sister, cousin, uncles, part of any group, a part of a tribe, part of a pack, you are a leader. And leaders must lead from the front because you are a leader. Deep down inside, there is a bold, courageous leader within you. I like to say that there is a lion inside of you, waiting to roar. Be bold and courageous. Do you know that every mother animal don't know that they are bold and courageous until they are threatened, and not by they are threatened for themselves, but when their little ones, their youth, their young is threatened. Every mother animal is like that. They will literally place themselves in between their young and danger, even if it means death to them. Be bold and courageous. This reminds me of a time when I was little and my little brother and I had to always walk the road to catch the bus early in the morning. And one morning, while we were at the end of the road waiting for the bus, because for some reason it was taking a longer time to come. And there was always used to be dogs that came from out of the woods. And sometimes we would get by, but this morning, the bus came late, we standing there, and guess what came out of the woods? Those dogs came out from the back house in the woods, and they looked at us, and we looked at them with fear. We looked at them with fear. And the dogs began to ran at us, full sprint. And without even thinking, I immediately, out of love and inner courage that I didn't know that I had, instead of running, knowing that I can beat my brother, I know that I could beat my brother in the race, in the rat race, right? I could beat him. But I didn't run and to become saved from the jaws of the dogs. I immediately stepped in front of my brother and placed him right behind me. And it's still vivid there because I can still remember this because it was a pivotal moment in my life. I stood up with boldness, with my head held high, looking straight into the eyes of those dogs. And as soon as I did that, they stopped in their tracks and turned around. Once I couldn't see them anymore, guess what, y'all? I began to shake and tear up. Tears started rolling down my eyes because I was afraid, but I did it afraid. That's what my coach and mentor, Paul, would tell us. Do it afraid. Jump and grow your wings as you fall. See, there is a hidden mother deep down inside of each and every one of us. We are leaders in some shape or form or fashion. We are all leaders. And true leadership is when you have the ability to be bold and courageous. In conclusion, I would like to share with you this poem that I have written just for this moment right here with you. And I want you to take this and learn from it, and in hopes that it will empower you, it will impact you in some shape or form or fashion. And the title of my poem that I wrote this week for this very moment, this purpose is, Be Bold and Courageous, my friends. Be bold and courageous, like Jesus, who died on the cross so that we may have life and have it more abundantly. Be bold and courageous, like every African slave that fought for freedom. Be bold and courageous, like your mother and father or guardian that fought for the best of their abilities to raise you to be who you are today. Be bold and courageous when all odds are stuck against you, or all odds are stacked against you, when all odds are against you, when people have made a mockery of you in your name, when all hope is lost, when the possible looks impossible, look up, from where comes your help. It comes from heaven above. You have to dig deep for that tenacity. Like a lion, you must drive forward with bravery and know that you are no longer in slavery. It is time for you to step out and step into your calling. Be bold and courageous. It doesn't matter how long it takes. And it doesn't take much. It just takes love, faith, hope, boldness, and courage, my friends. Be bold and courageous, my brothers and sisters. Be bold and courageous. Leadership has a lid, and your lid may be here. Your leadership level may be here. Guess what? Your sphere of influence is always going to hit your leadership lid. It's never going to pass over it. What you must do, you must flip the script. You must conquer that. You must seek guidance and coaching to build your leadership lid so that your sphere of influence will grow and blossom as well. So how do you do that? There are many ways on how you do that. You can find you a good leader within your community, grab them by the coattail and follow their leadership way. Everyone have a leadership way. Find someone that has the leadership way that you want, or you want to imitate and grow into. That's the main thing you want. You want to grow into who you want to become. Find that person, seek help, seek guidance, and allow them to show you the right way to go. And make sure that they are in line with your purpose, in line with your core values, in line with who you are. So to help you understand this on this leadership lid and how important leadership is to us, I'm going to have a video that I'm going to share with you that in hopes that it will empower you to seek more help with leadership. Because it's already been said, what John Maxwell always say, leadership is just influence. That's what it is. And everything rises and falls on leadership. Nothing more, nothing less. There's a leader within you. And it's time for you to allow your leadership lid to grow. Be bold and courageous and go after your leadership way. Enjoy this video.
Did you know that the very first law of leadership in the John Maxwell bestseller, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, is the law of the lid? The law of the lid explains that the level of leadership with which the leader operates is a lid, a stopper on the growth that can occur under his or her leadership. Knowing that, don't you want to grow your ability to unleash your potential and the potential of everyone you lead? When you walk on the path of a leader's journey, you will develop the behaviors needed to effectively lead yourself and others. The John Maxwell 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership are time-tested, treasured understandings of the world's great leaders. You too can apply them and change your world. The Maxwell Method of Leadership. Lead with purpose.
Exactly. Lead with purpose. It is time for us to lead with purpose. I just want to again just thank all the speakers that has allowed themselves to allow God to use them and to speak life into you. And in closing, I always like to give something out. I love to be a river and not a reservoir. So what I want to do here is I want to be able to share with you one of my books, PDF, an ebook version of Reflection Time and Goal Setting. Because you need to ask questions and prepare yourself to set your goals that you want to achieve in your life. I want to share it with you. So right after this, I'm going to share the link of my Reflection Time Goal Center where you can get a copy of the book. Also, if you truly want to shift your leadership lid to the next level, push your leadership lid to the next level, then you may need to seek coaching, someone that can help pull out the best out of you. And now, sometimes we all need help. I did. I started my self-development process in leadership in my personal growth in 2013 after I came back from overseas. And that has been what? 18, that's a lot, right? 8 years 2013 to now, 2021. That has been my journey. That has been my journey. So everyone has their own journey that they must travel. That was my leadership journey. What's yours? So if you need a coach or a mentor, I would really say a coach, because a coach is really going to pull out the best with asking the right questions. And I want to do that for you. So for the next 72 hours, my regular price for coaching, for one-time coaching, just per service, but I want to give you one session. And it usually $55 for 30 minutes. What I want to do is I want to compound that. I want to give you 60 minutes, an hour for the same price. Yes, $55, just $55 for a whole hour for coaching that I will help you to really pull out the best out of you. But you got to do that within the next 72 hours, okay? But guess what? There's more. If you reach out to me within the next 24 hours, I will give you the same thing, but cut the price to $45. But it got to be in 24 hours in order to get that. But hold on, there's more. If you reach out to me within the next 12 hours, it will be $30 for 1 hour coaching session with me to help you to pull out the leader within and be bold and courageous like a lion. It's in you. You may just need someone to help pull it out. So those are your options. Within 72 hours, $55 for a whole hour session, 24 hours, only for $45, or 12 hours and only $30 for a whole hour session. This is a steal, but it's your choice. And that's going to be for one session. So I really ask you, if you truly want to move forward with your leadership, step out, be bold and courageous, and invest into your best investment. And that is you. What are you doing to invest into you, to be the best that you can be? Now is that time. Now is that time. So I just thank you, my brothers and sisters, for joining us for this first ever virtual leadership summit. I pray and hope that you have been inspired in some shape or form or fashion. I pray and hope that you was. And I hope that it has inspired you to live a better life with leadership. Please reach out to us, any of the speakers. The information is in the comments. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, we want to help you and see you succeed in life. We want you to be the best version of yourself you can possibly be. So you have the ability. It's time. It's time for you to go out. Step into the person that God has created you to be. Like what I always like to say, be great in you and in everything that God has intended you to be, do, and have in life. Be great. I'm also going to be sharing in the other comments some 2 major events that I'll be on some podcasts tomorrow. One at 11 and one at 5 p.m. So it's time for us to move forward. I love you. We love you. But know that God loves you more than we do. Have a great and blessed day and be the greatness that God has created you to be. So be inspired, be empowered, be the greatness that God has created you to be. Amen, amen, and amen. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I appreciate all the loves and likes. I really do thank you for all you have done for us. And let's move forward in this thing that we call life. Thank you.